was having difficulties with my phone. Oh, hold on. I just got done painting a new sign for my yard. And I was trying to get. Hey, Sherilyn. Oh, I need my. Okay, way better. Hey, guys. Sorry I was late. I was having. At the big end, I was having some technical difficulties, so I had to just start all over. But I painted a new sign for my yard. And I. What took me so long why I was late is because I wanted to get a blog entry up over stuff that has happened. Um, I'm gonna deal with shit that was sent to us, sent to me. It was sent to Sherilyn, but it was for me. You guys can go read it on my blog. We got an email from this Jesse Davis dude, and he's saying that I'm saying all this shit about him, and I didn't even know who the fuck it was. I have never once said Jesse Davis because I didn't know the fucking name. I had no clue. But I guess that he's the one who runs Sewer Town. And he said that I said all this shit about him, but I don't fucking even know who he is. But let me say about Sewer Town and the cockroaches that gravitate to there. All of the people that are after me, all the people that were involved with Isaac and connected to Isaac, they all go to Sewer Town. It's funny how they're all congregated. Tara Joyce, Daniel Dowd, Corey Daniel, Geo Farnsworth, that Defango dude, which I know is not his fucking name. You know, they're all congregated on at Sewer Town. And so when I talk about Sewer Town, you obviously know what the fuck these people are involved with, and they're involved. And so there you go. You know, take it for fucking what it's worth. You know, take it for what it's fucking worth. This group, and I am not surprised that one of the first fucking things you brought up was Thomas. I'm not playing this fucking ping pong game. You guys are all working together. I believe you're all controlled opposition. And this fucking ping pong ball game thing where one side says I'm working with the other side I'm working with the other side, and it's just a ping pong, and people get lost in that bullshit. And as far as I'm concerned, what I've seen in the years that I have had to deal with this bullshit is that it's a fucking game. It's a game. There's not 32 people in here. They're filling my room with bots. They're filling my room with bots. I don't understand even what their fucking game is. But Geo Farnsworth seems to be following everybody who ever actually I talked to. Dude, I bought a lottery ticket from the people at the gas station. So maybe you should act, and we talked about all this shit because I'm in town. So maybe you should send them an email or fucking track their asses down and make sure that you comment on their shit. And then when I went in, I went into the post office this morning, and there was a woman there who recognized me from your fucking flyers, your group's flyers, and then recognized me from my sign, so asked me. So maybe you want to go fucking track her down too. Are you going to just track down everybody? Because your shit is so fucking obvious. That is what it is fun to deal with in this game. Is that your guys' shit is so obvious. And like I've said, this Epstein shit ain't gonna go away this time. It is the perfect fucking storm. It ain't gonna go away this time. You know? It's gonna be fun to see how this all plays out. It's gonna be fun to see how, because it's already been fun to watch. It's already been fun to watch. And I know that the media and all of it is spinning, but just let me fucking point out once again Who's hiding the shit? The government. Who gave Epstein his fucking sweetheart deal? The government. Who actually has just catered and watched over? The government. It doesn't make any difference what fucking dumbass figurehead we have in the fucking Oval Office. It's the fucking rich people and them that are running everything. You know? They have us focused on, and I'm not saying these aren't bad people, because I just don't like any of them. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama, you know, Trump, Biden, you know, they were all involved in some really seriously fucked up shit. But the people who are running the things are the people behind the Heritage Foundation and the rich people. It's the rich people who are running shit. And it's the rich people that are doing the shit. You know? You go try to book a room in the hotel where Anton Scalia was murdered at. Go ahead and then let me know how it goes for you. I'd love to know how it goes. Unless you're super fucking rich and connected to them, chances are you ain't gonna get in. You know? Chances are you ain't gonna get in. But funny enough, when it fucking boils down to it, nobody fucking likes pedophiles. Nobody likes your group. And what's facing you is heaven. What's facing you is heaven. You're not going to beat what's here to get you. You've already lost. At this point, it's just when you're going to get claimed. You know, that's how it works. And so, the thing about it is that they're trying to make this whole Epstein thing go away. Now the media is starting to focus on, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's done for. It's done. All you guys have done is shown yourselves to be the very deep state that you've been talking about this whole fucking time. You know? Now they don't trust you. And Trump, he's rotting from the inside out. You know? There's some serious shit wrong with him. You know? And once your figurehead goes away, all the one who, none of you have the effect that Trump has. And now he's losing it. And funny enough, in the end, he's the most fucking powerful man in the world. And still nobody wants you. They don't want to be around you. They don't respect you. You don't feel their respect. You know? Your smell alone makes people want to get away from you. You know? When you burp, when you fart, and you do a lot from what they say. You know? You're old. That's how it works. You know? It's funny that in the end, Trump is the false prophet. That's how I know that he's involved with all of this, because his daddy was involved in the cult. His daddy was involved in the cult. And here's a politician that has never done what any other politician has. And he got all these fucking dumbasses to wear a mark on their fucking forehead. Every single one of them. Those red hats, you have no idea. You know? Everyone seems to think that all of it is literal. But Luciferians don't look at the shit as literal. They don't look at the Bible as literal. Metaphorically. And up for debate. That's how it works with them. And they're very, you know... And so, I'm awake, not woke. That whole woke thing, what they're trying to do is empathy, caring for your fellow man, shit like that. They're just trying to fucking take that away. Because then you're going to end up in the dark. Because if you don't have that shit, you're going to end up in the dark. And right now, at this point, they want to take as many as they possibly can. what we are experiencing right now with this takeover with the Supreme Court and the government and them being able to do whatever the fuck they want and the whole fascist bullshit and all of that. I wonder, could this possibly be connected to the group that JFK came out and said wanted to enslave every man, woman, and child? And he was making it his directive to actually expose that. Of course, he was dead, what, 9 days later? You know? Could this possibly be part of that group? Because what they want to tell you is don't believe what you're seeing, don't believe what you're hearing. Only believe what we tell you. And that's how this whole situation is starting to work. I'm not really following the conversation, Sherilyn, so let me know if I need to be connected, if I need to focus on it. I just saw you say, tell someone have a nice day, and that's always, oh, and then I see now he's gone. Okay. All of this stuff, Bluck, just have Smokey work with this. We'll go through Smokey and we'll do it. That's no problem. I know you guys are poor. We're all fucking poor. And my dryer's broke, but I have this fake ass clothesline that was here when I bought this house. And for the first time ever, I've tried to use it, and it actually works. So, my dryer breaking down, and I fucking did it. I knew damn well I should not have put all three of those rugs in my dryer. And I fucked up my dryer. And I don't think anyone around here is going to come fix my dryer. you know? And so, but I'm hanging my clothes out. Again, God works in mysterious ways. You know? All of this shit is connected to Jeffrey Epstein. It's just another offshoot of it. It's just another offshoot of it. Just like Franklin. Franklin was the same shit as Epstein. Just like P. Diddy. And who just got off? And who let him off? You know? The thing about it is it's right before everybody. You can all fucking see it. It's not like we haven't been here before. It's happened over and over and over and over. And it's always the fucking same thing. The shit that's going on right now is no different than what happened in Omaha with the Franklin shit. None of it. What's different is that heaven is here this time. Heaven is here. And the sun is fucking us. There have been 2 explosions. 2 stars have exploded, and that energy has affected everything in our solar system. Funny how that fucking works, you know? But it says, in the end, that the stars will fall. And that's exactly what our sun is, you know? Just exactly what Beetlejuice is. Just like the 2 explosions that just happened. And that's not even counting the shit from Beetlejuice in 2019. These are recent. Not to mention the sun is fucking inundating us with so much gamma radiation that it's just incredible. Can't you tell that there is something fucking wrong with the sun? Go outside. Just go stick your face and your body out in the sun for a while. It doesn't take rocket science. Stop lying to yourself. It obviously feels way more intense. You know, things are cooking on this planet. Things are drying up. We're having issues that we've never had before. This time, you know, everything that we've experienced, this is the first time in mankind's history that what's happening around us isn't looked at as biblical. Even though any other time, it would have been looked at as biblical. The hurricanes that we've had, the fires out in California, what just happened with the flooding in Texas, that's biblical. The fact that I had an F4 tornado right outside my house when we weren't even in tornado season, a half a mile away, that was fucking biblical. But we don't count that shit anymore. You know? We don't count it anymore. It doesn't make any... Oh, fuck. I've seen better on television. I've seen better on in the theaters. You know? And they'll make you all think that it's AI. They'll make you all think that it's fucking aliens. And now it's not aliens in the sky. From now, what they're trying to do is say that they've been in the fucking oceans for thousands and thousands of years. Anything to look away from the fact that we have scriptures that pretty much go through almost every fucking religion at the very base of every religion. They all get fucked up as they go along. But the base of every, they're all kind of the same. And they all say the same shit. We are at the end. Their shit, I don't even fucking worry about their shit anymore. I kind of feel sorry for them because what's in front of them, they have no fucking clue. They have no clue. Do you think that any of those people who were out just enjoying their fucking weekend, camping and talking to people and having fun, did you really think that they all thought they were going to be dead that weekend? Why would you go camping if you knew that? Of course they didn't know. You know? Death is kind of always a surprise for most people. You know? We're not promised. And the moment you take your last breath, and that goes for all of us, the moment you take your last breath, if you do not have love in your heart and you have not followed the word, you're going to get claimed by the dark. And I just had a conversation with a friend of mine about hell. Realized Jesus Christ, the 3 days that he was dead, had to go through hell. Had to go through hell. Because he was tested. He was tested in hell for 3 days. Came out of it stupendously. But we're all following in his footsteps. You're either going to get claimed by the fucking dark or you're going to follow in Jesus Christ's footsteps. And it ain't going to fucking be easy. This test was never fucking meant to be easy. Where did you ever get, oh, well, you know, if you don't feel like it, there's no trophies for second place. And what it is you need to actually obedient. We serve the word. Love God, love all around you. Do whatever you can to make the people's lives around you a better place. You know, that's it. Otherwise, you're going to get claimed by the dark. And you can make whatever excuse you want. You can make whatever fucking thing you want. You can say whatever you want, whatever excuse you want to give yourself. You're right. Do whatever the fuck it is you think you want to do. What we were told doesn't matter. Fuck, do what you want. You know? Do what you fucking want. But you aren't going to like the consequences. We are in Providence, Sherilyn. We're in Providence. Right now, everything's happening for a reason, and we are all being judged. We are in judgment. It's not going to happen some other time to somebody else. We are all in judgment. The things that we are doing make a difference. The things, Providence, when heaven has a hand in everything, influences everything. You do realize that there's a thing called dictionary.com, right? You can just copy the word Providence, go to dictionary.com, pull it right on up. You know? That's the issue that I have with most people, especially where I'm at. If you haven't been fucking spoon-fed it, then it's not real. You know? But they're only spoon-feeding you bullshit. It's not the stuff that's going to save you. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference. You know? What we do right now makes a difference. And when we die, even those of us are good, we have to follow Jesus Christ's footsteps. A servant is not greater than their master. And Jesus Christ is our master. And so Jesus Christ went through hell, and you wanted to know what he had to do? He got tested on the love in his heart. And it became pure because he trusted in heaven. He trusted in love. He trusted in all of that. And wouldn't let any of the delusions take his, that's the reason why I'm not afraid. I know damn well that's the reason why Sherilyn's not afraid. Our faith is strong. Despite everything that we've gone through, our faith is strong. And so today the show is about a lot of things. The group that I have been exposing for years is an offshoot of this whole bullshit with Jeffrey Epstein. That's the reason why they're acting so fucking weird. That's why they're acting so weird. Like I said, Gio, you're going to go follow all the people that are all around and people who have commented and left shit 6 months ago. I talked to a stranger, some woman at the post office. You better go track her down, And the people that I bought that lottery ticket from, I spent $1 and bought a lottery ticket. You better go track them down too, because I talked about it to them. But it's pretty hard not to talk about the shit in town since your group went out and passed flyers everywhere calling me a fucking pedophile. And so now people are actually focusing. Yes, you can be good without a religion. You don't have to follow. You just have to have love in your heart. That's what you have to do, is have love in your heart. And if you don't have love in your heart, then you're going to get claimed by the dark. That's how it works. You don't have to follow any, You don't have to follow. In fact, all of our paths to God are different. Mine's been completely different than most people's, And so I'm not going to judge anybody else's path. But I will say that in my experience being trained and raised and tortured by fucking people who believed in the Antichrist and did awful fucking shit, I went through every religion. It was the gospel of Jesus Christ that I can safely say, honestly say, completely gave me the direction I needed. Completely gave me in the direction that I needed. But the rest of the Bible, the Luciferians that I grew up told me the only really true things in the Bible are the Gospels of Jesus Christ and the stuff that he taught and the 10 Commandments. Those are the only two. And I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying that that is what the fucking devil lovers who raised me, Colonel Aquino, and all of his group, and my father and stepmother, they told, religion is meant to divide people. Personally, I believe that God, the kingdom of heaven, is inside of us and all around us. We are a part of it. And you'll either act in a way that bears good fruit, or you're going to get fucking claimed by the dark. That's how it works. As simple as that. If you're out putting dark in the world, that dark is going to come and it's going to claim you. Because dark is a virus in mankind's heart. Evil is a virus. That's the reason why this whole group of fucking child traffickers, and it was about money. It's not about they're not fucking having sex with kids. I don't know if they are, but it's about money. It's lucrative. It's a fucking money-making fucking machine. It's lucrative. It's not about a bunch of fucking pedophiles. It's about a fucking bunch of people who make money off of children. Because they fucking look at them as cattle. That's what it's about. It's not about them fucking kids. It's about them selling kids and the shit that they are involved with. And it needs to be investigated. Just like the shit from Jeffrey Epstein needs to come out. Just like the shit from P. Diddy needs to come out. Just like that ranch that Anton Scalia ended up dead at. That all needs to come out. All of this shit needs to come out and be scrutinized and looked at. And those who will argue that there's nothing to see And don't listen to me because I'm crazy. I'm a pedophile. I'm a coke addict. I'm a felon who had a sawed-off shotgun. What other things have I did? Fuck, the list goes on and on and on. Those are just a few things that I could. They fucking pass out flyers with me. They're tracking down anyone who fucking supports me. Anyone who supports me. They're involved with everything as a group. As a group. And do you want to know why they don't like me? Because fuck them. I'm not going to shut up. I'm just not going to shut up. And the shit that I am talking about is all stuff that people need to go investigate. Don't take my word for it. Go investigate it. Go fucking look into it. I need someone with more authority than me. What am I going to do? Make a citizen's arrest? You know? And they just fucking murdered Virginia Giuffre. Do you think that's a fucking coincidence? Virginia Giuffre dies, what, a month before they decide to tell everybody that there's nothing in the Epstein. There are no Epstein files. You think that's a fucking coincidence, do you? The timing. Of course, let me also point out, this whole protection order that they're fucking trying to get at me, just remember, right after she got hit by that fucking bus and she's laying in the hospital, they said that she violated that. She had a protection order on her and she had violated it. And she violated the protection order. That came out after that. And that was what? A few days before she's dead? And she's saying that she's not suicidal. Just like Isaac said, he wasn't suicidal. The only reason why they won't come and do to me what they've done to them is because there's rituals involved. And the higher ups, like Michael Aquino, know that that is a definite fucking no-no. But we'll see what happens, because it's not like you guys are bright. The side that I'm dealing with has been entitled. They feel superior. But there's very little reason for it. There's very little reason for it. The only reason why these people got to where they got is that they had help from spiritual principalities. That's the only thing that explains it. Because this group is so goddamn dumb that they had to have help from something. They had to help from someone. But God, who Sherilyn hid, thank you for making my point. Why don't I go take my bulldozer and go bulldoze Doug Mesner's house? You know? You all just, it's like you guys are children. You know? You are children. And don't worry about it, children, because you don't have the chance to grow old. You know? The thing that separated Michael Aquino from Anton LaVey, the thing that broke them up is for Anton LaVey, his little, the whole satanic thing for him was just a movement. It was a social movement. But Anton LaVey and Michael Aquino were partners for quite some time. And the difference, what broke them apart, and the reason why Aquino went and developed the Temple of Set, is because for Aquino, he had all that Nazi shit, and it was about the Antichrist. It was about the Antichrist and taking over. It was all that Nazi occult bullshit that was going on in World War II. That was the shit that happened. They just never stopped it. Because why would they stop it? A lot of it fucking works. You know? Why would they stop? Because a lot of it works. And if you don't think you, as just normal people, aren't fucking mind controlled, you don't know even how to think in the box, let alone think out of the box. You know? And the bigger picture scares most people. Aquino was with the CIA. That's what Aquino was with. He's with this. He was with the CIA. You know, just like Thomas Schoenberger is with the CIA. I believe that Gabe Hoffman is with the CIA. I know that that Lucian Greaves, little Dougie, Doug Masico, Doug Mesner, all of that, he's working with the CIA because he told Shane Bugby. So all of this shit is all connected to the government. Who just hid all of the Epstein files? The government. Who gave him his sweetheart deal? The government. Who was involved with making all of this shit from Franklin go away? The government. It was all the same fucking people. You know? The thing about it is you expose the people, you can expose the position. And so people can see that it actually is there. Oh, you guys, there's no bulldozer. That's more your immature, childish bullshit. You know? Fucking dumbass. I got rid of Abe. All of this is connected to Jeffrey Epstein. All of it. All of it. Because Jeffrey Epstein was just an offshoot, just like P. Diddy is an offshoot. Just like Alan Bear and everything that was going on in Omaha. Because it was all the same shit. Setting people up for drugs and having sex with kids and all of that stuff and filming them so you can blackmail it. It's not like it's a new game. And a lot of people do it. And our government definitely does it. You know? And so it's going to be interesting to see how this Jeffrey Epstein thing plays out. Because I don't think people are just going to let it go anymore. You know? And something tells me that Mike Aquino is a little bit busier now. He's not going to be able to set up another Pizzagate, another QAnon. And the people around him are not smart enough to do it. They don't have, you know. It's funny how they're just scraping the bottom, you know? And yet they all think they're just the smartest ones in the room. Always. They all think that they're just the smartest fucking person in the room. And they don't realize. My whole goal in this whole situation was just to get them claimed. The dark is here for them. They're going in the dark. There ain't shit they can do. They can repent. They can confess their sins. They can actually seek redemption. That would save them. But they ain't gonna do that shit. You know? No, that is the stupidest fucking thing. Nothing happened to Mark. Nothing happened to Mark. Fucking stupid. No, just get rid of that Thomas Schoenberger. Sherilyn, get rid of that. It's not Thomas Schoenberger. It's Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth and them all playing their fucking little games. You know? You know, I don't think I ever really went. I didn't go into names when I went and wrote Confessions of an Antichrist. Some that were just flat out. But after I published that rabbit hole, then I started focusing and started just, you know, and now I just don't care. That's the whole thing about it is that the book that I'm working on now deals with Fred Trump. You know, deals with his daddy, deals with all, I'm going to name names in this book. I'm going to tell what people do, and then I'm going to point out how they fucking made all their money. You know? I'm going to make all their money, how they made all their money. Because all of their money was based on all of this shit, and they were all involved. And they're fucked. They're fucked. The shit that they trained me to do as a kid was one thing. They've done that to a lot of people. Fiona went through a lot of the same shit I did. Different, but I think it's because I was a guy, and they kind of made it personal to the person, obviously to the child. But the fact that they slaughtered all those little boys and pledged their souls to me in that whole situation, that made a huge difference. in a difference that I can't even begin to, because I was supposed to be the vessel for the Antichrist. And so they pledged their souls to me. Not only their souls, but all the souls of the people before them and all the people after them. You know? And I know they didn't do that shit to other people. And even if they did, it didn't make any difference because it worked with me. That it did. It worked with me. And we're playing on different... All of this shit is over. The sun is about ready to burn the fuck out of us. This isn't going to go away. The volcanoes are going to keep going off. There's going to keep going earthquakes. It's not all going to happen at once, but it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger each time. You know, as it has been. The weather has been getting worse, not better. You know, it hasn't gotten better for a long time, and it keeps getting progressively weirder. You know, I'm just pointing out the facts. Anybody who looks at the shit can see. You know, for whatever reason. I think it has a lot to do with God, because I think this time it's with fire. And so heaven is using the sun to fucking cook us. Not only with heat, but with gamma radiation. At a time that we have very little magnetic field, because the poles are switching. And so we have almost no magnetic field right now. You know? And so, and there's a huge hole on the other side of the planet that has no ozone. So it's just letting everything in, you know? And so it's really hot here. It's really hot. The sex scandals do relate to counterintelligence and blackmail. All of this child fucking bullshit. I've just told people, I've just pointed out where everyone should start. Trust me, people who have authority, who actually start looking at this group, are going to find something way bigger, you know? And if they don't do it, and they don't do what they need to do, they're going to get fucking claimed. And they can come in here and make all of their stupid ass comments, and all of their dumb ass names, and all of that. Nothing happened to Mark Hester. At all. Ever. 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 The only thing that Mark and I have ever had is that I've done my whole thing to avoid that obnoxious fucking dickhead who can't come out of the closet. That's even when he was a kid. But when he was 3, I was what? I wasn't even, because they're all kind of the same age as I am. It's funny that you focus on Cindy's kids. It's funny that you focus on Cindy's kids, because I know that Chris doesn't help you. And Kathy's kids, who are much younger, by the way, and who I had an infinitely more access to as an adult, don't have any of that shit to say. Not a fucking word. Nothing. Because nothing happened. Because I'm not a fucking pedophile. But my sister's kids were all involved with this shit. Cindy was as involved with this child trafficking and the drugs and the gun running and all of that bullshit as much as my brother Steven was. They were both together, and they lived around each other for years in Florida. And that's the reason why they don't like me. You know? And I don't care. I don't care. They're not blood. They're moms, but, you know, you ain't gonna fucking get me to run with lies. You're just not. You're just not gonna make me run with lies. And it's all fucking bullshit. You know? It's all bullshit. Just like I was a fucking coke addict. Just like I'm a felon who got arrested for having a sawed-off shotgun. You know? Just like I'm fucking Johnny Gosh. You do all these weird-ass videos. All of your shit is bizarre. And you all work in tandem with each other. And you all basically work in the same parameters of each other. Perfect example, that email we just got from Jesse Davis. It is as measured as fucking Thomas and the same fucking games. You know, I'm not working with Thomas. I don't even know who the fuck you are, dude. But I do know that really bad people fucking congregate on your site. That's what I know. Is that there's a lot of people, and am I going to come on there so I can get run around in circles by your entire group? There's no fucking way. So you can edit it as you please, because you like to edit shit all the fucking time. That's all those videos are, you know? And so why would I even bother? Go ahead and pass out as many fucking flyers as you want, dude. It gets me more people coming up and asking me questions, you know? And those people are going and telling everybody else because people already know. People have bought my book. As it has been promised by heaven. If you follow the word, all of their shit that they conspire to do, all their fucked up shit that they are obsessed with, God will turn it into a blessing. If you follow the word, God turns it into a blessing. And that has been my experience almost every time. Things that have just pissed me the fuck off. That's why I don't get angry all the time anymore. You know? That's why I don't get angry all the time. Because who can fucking who has the energy to do that? And I'm busy sewing. Fuck, I just sliced the crap out of my finger yesterday, or the day before yesterday. It's gotten better because I heal really fast. Babe, it's kind of gross. Don't know if I can show anybody. Oh, there it is. I hacked off a big piece of my skin. This fucking thing bled forever. You know, but I soaked in a hot bath with Epsom salts yesterday morning and put Neosporin on it. Now it seems to be doing okay. Hurt like a bitch. But I was sewing, and when I'm sewing, I'm praying and just focusing. And I think that heaven, because of what this piece means, I think heaven needed blood and tears. I think that, you know, and it wasn't even blood, it was blood and sweat and flesh. Cut off a big piece of my I just went right over it, just the tip of my, oh, fucking hurt. It's getting better. And so all of this pedophile shit needs to be looked at, because this is the same group that was all involved with Isaac Cappy and the shit that happened with Isaac Cappy, you know. Blood, sweat, and tears. You know, I think that it actually got tears too, because I teared up when oh my God. It was awful. It was awful. And then I did that live, and I had to have that thing wrapped around my finger, and I had to be pushing on it. Because I had a Band-Aid. I actually had two Band-Aids around it, and it was bleeding through the Band-Aid. It was gross. But I drink a lot of water. And so, you know, I'm really, really well hydrated, because I always have water in my hand. I'm always drinking water. I'd rather be poor than live in fear. I would never choose them, you know. And not having money for food is definitely a way to fast, you know. And Thomas can say whatever. He wrote one of the last emails he wrote. He said I was getting fatter, but I'm actually not getting fatter. I'm actually losing weight now, just because, you know. Plus it's summer. Who fucking wants to eat? I'd rather be poor and living on the, you know. It's funny because when you're with God, isn't it funny how we never seem to have an abundance, but we always seem to have enough. We always have enough to be grateful for. You know, that's how I look at it. We always have enough to be. I always have enough to be grateful for, and feel like, you know, heaven is just. I serve. I serve, and my wants are few. You know, most of the shit in my house is stuff I was given. People kind of used me as like, oh, I want to get rid of this. Here, take this. Some of it is kind of nice, but it's all of it's flawed. But you know, fuck it. It's just stuff. I broke my connection to stuff when I was, God, what was I? I was like 19 years old. It was 1920. David was still alive, but he was mad at me, and so we weren't talking. And I was coming home from work, and I was on a bus, and I was the only one on the bus other than the bus driver, and I was sitting all the way at the back of the bus, and it was fall, and I had a coat on that I hadn't worn in a while. I mean, obviously because it was fall, but I and so I reached into the pockets, and suddenly, what did I have in my pocket but one of those? Remember how they used to make those really tiny New Testaments, and they used to hand them out? I always took a couple because I love to have them in my coats. But they were the New Testament. They were just tiny ones that you could stick in your coat. And I reached in, and when I saw that, I was miserable, and I told God that I was going to open the Bible up and do whatever I read in the Bible. And whatever I read, that was what I was going to do. And it was probably not the best way to make a decision in your life, but I was 19. But I opened up the Bible, and it was the rich man who came to Jesus Christ and said, I followed everything. I do what you need me to do. What do you want? And Jesus Christ says, give everything to the poor and follow me. And 3 days later, I didn't have anything to my name. And this was right after David Klotz. Because David Klotz was an adept thief. So he was teaching me how to steal. But that was one of the things that kind of divided us. Because, well, first of all, my mother was totally against it, obviously. But I was miserable. And so what I couldn't give back, I ended up giving away. And I've had miracles happen in my life over and over and over. The very fact that I'm here is a miracle. The very fact that I'm here over and over and over is a miracle. And so I do not question miracles. For me, personally, if you don't have any miracles going on in your life, it kind of sucks to be you. That's all I have to say. You know? Because it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's not that there isn't sometimes a whole lot of suffering that goes along with it. But in the end, everything is providence. Everything is providence. With that said, I want to pray. Today's going to be an hour. Well, what my truth is and what your truth is, you don't need to know my truth. What difference does it make about my truth? What difference does it make about my truth? And the truth is, if you don't have your heart filled with love and you're not being obedient to the word and with love, you're going to get claimed. That's really the only thing anybody really needs to fucking focus on right now. Living your life as best as you can and doing everything you can to glorify the word. That's how it is. If you're not living your life and thinking about glorifying the word, every chance you can get, there's a chance you're going to get claimed by the dark. And the less you do that, the greater chance you have by getting claimed by the dark. That's how it works. You know? No, I can't skip the praying. If you don't like the prayers, go away. You know? A lot of you, no prayers would help anyway. You know? The only prayer that matters is the prayer that the dark is here to claim itself. And if there's dark inside of you, you get claimed. That's how it works. We're in judgment. It's not going to happen some other time to someone else. It's happening right now to all of us. Right now. And so become obedient to the word, glorify the word every chance you can. Glorify the word every chance you can. Sorry, I had a fly on me. And hope that you ascend. And that's for each one of us personally. Because you want to know what? It's not going to make any difference who around you does what. It won't make any difference who anyone does around you. It's not a competition. It's not a comparison. You're not going to get off because Joey was doing this or Susie down the street was doing that, or, you know, this person or that person was doing other shit and all of that. None of that is going to work. The ultimate end is have love in your heart. Stand up for the word. This whole pedophile thing is not going to go away. This whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is not going to go away. And they're on top of me because it's government. They're all focused on me. They're searching out there. They're sending people all kinds of shit. People that are just like, okay, why are they following me? People that didn't even know what the fuck was going on. And it's all a game. It's all a game. They play these fucking stupid ass games because it's all about chaos. Because if they can get so much chaos going, you guys, I know this is a criticism, but when it comes down to it, a lot of you have the attention span of a goldfish. And they realize they just need to flash the next shiny thing. But the problem is that you can only do that so often before people stop looking at the nice shiny thing. And Aquino was brilliant. He was brilliant. The shit that he has been able to accomplish, but something tells me Michael Aquino is not having a good time of it right now. I know that. He's not having a good time of it right now. None of them are having a good time of it right now. And all of their little pedophile shit is going to come out. Because the people that I'm trying to expose are the very people that were all around Isaac. That's the reason why God wanted me to start talking. That's why I was told to start talking about Isaac. Because all the people that I needed to be connected to so that I could understand how it was working and how it was going on, I learned all of that from Isaac. That's the blessing that heaven was giving me with Isaac. Because I didn't know who any of them were. I didn't have a fucking clue who most of them were. You know? In fact, really, when it comes down to it with Isaac, I didn't know shit. I didn't know anybody. I knew Gabe Hoffman, but Gabe Hoffman I knew through Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, and Craig Sawyer years ago. I didn't connect him to Isaac Cappy. I didn't connect him to Thomas Schoenberger. Didn't have a fucking clue who he was. Corey Daniel Dowd, Geo Farnsworth, Tara Joyce. I didn't know who any of these fucking people were. But when I started talking about Isaac, they fucking descended upon me. And it's been a nightmare ever since. You know? There's no child that was involved in that protection order in Kent. Gabe Hoffman can say whatever the fuck he wants. They got them to lie about a gas station that they blew up to try and kill me. Do I think that they can get someone to do some clerical thing? Probably. I wouldn't disagree. All I'm going to point out is if there was a child involved with that protection order in Kent, Washington, don't you think that shit would have come out by now? 10 years, don't you think it would have come out by now? And this is after they said that I was addicted to coke and I'm a felon because I had a sawed-off shotgun and all of this weird shit with my nephews. None of it happened. None of it the way they're presenting it. None of it happened. You know? And so all of the shit that's going on, they all need to be investigated. It all needs to be investigated. Pizzagate was a keynote. Pizzagate came out because the Podesta files came out. And people started to question. So Aquina gave people Pizzagate, because Pizzagate, in a way, was really no different than what McMartin was in the 80s and the False Memory Syndrome Foundation. That's what I'm saying. Their games are all the same. They always do the same shit. And why do they do the same shit? They do the same shit because it works, or it has worked in the past. You know? So they gave Pizzagate, but Pizzagate didn't slow things down. It sped things up. And so then they had that dude who went in and shot the place up, and they realized they had to take it away from there. And then you got QAnon. QAnon was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Someone you don't know up in the government gives you a fucking riddle, and you're all trying to fucking solve it, thinking that you're actually doing something. It is the stupidest born identity kind of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. It was a keynote. It was a keynote. Working with Doug Mesner, who had his fucking Satanic Temple minions doing the shit. Because that's how it's working. Notice how none of them want to claim Dougie. You know? None of them want to claim Dougie. And so, and that's key to all of this. Doug Mesner, a.k.a. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, and all of his Satanic Temple minions. All of them. And they're around here. Obviously, they're around here. 2 years ago, they did this weird Baphomet statue in the Capitol at Christmas with all the nativity scenes, and then some dude came up from Missouri and beheaded it, and it was all anybody could talk about. But it's funny, the timing of that situation, because I was just starting to get all of it out of how Dougie was connected to all of this stuff, including the Earling, Iowa gas station explosion. You know, all of this is government. Who makes it go away every time? Who made it go away in the 80s? The government. Who made all the shit from Jeffrey Epstein okay? The government. Who gave him his sweetheart deal? The government. When he was in jail, who had control of him? The government. All of the shit that they found in his condo and in his island and all of that, including that fucking weird-ass temple that he had, where did all that information go? There was none. There was none. The Epstein files are not the files you are looking for. The Epstein files, they don't exist. You've never looked for them before. They're not real. They're not real. The Epstein files are not real. They don't exist. It was all an exaggeration. Oopsie. But it's the same shit they did in the 80s. That's what they did with Franklin. The grandest hoax, but nobody could explain who was behind the hoax, you know, or why. Let alone how Alicia Owen at 15 could have the chief of police Robert Wadman's baby in her stomach, and she was only 15. But I guess Robert Wadman is God. It was an immaculate conception. He's an alien, you know. Other than fucking a child, how did he impregnate this child? And it all went away. That's the whole shit. Only this time with Jeffrey Epstein, we not only have Jeffrey Epstein, we have P. Diddy. You know? They're just flaunting it in everyone's faces. And the problem is that most of you aren't as stupid as they want to think. That's the issue. Most of you aren't as stupid as they think. They look at you as eaters and breeders. You're not anything but fucking cattle to these motherfuckers. You're built to be slaves. Again, JFK said there was this plan to enslave every man, woman, and child in America. And it was his goal to expose that. He said that like what 9 days before he had his brains all on the back of that convertible in Texas. 9 days. It's the same thing as the 9/11 shit. When Donald Rumsfeld comes out and says, "Oh, well, we've actually lost $9 trillion," and what? A few days right after that, the planes fly into the Twin Towers. You know, and who is all involved with it? The government. Who's always involved with this shit? The government. Who just did what they did with P. Diddy? The government. But they want to tell you that what you see isn't real. What you hear isn't real. And some of you will fucking buy it because it makes you feel better. But you want to know what? If you feel okay right now, there's something wrong with you. And you're going to get claimed. Because the shit is wrong. On so many fucking levels, it's wrong. It needs to be fucking investigated by someone other than me. Because I have no authority. What am I going to do? Go make a citizen's arrest? Do I fucking look like Nancy Drew? And I know they keep saying that. Yeah, there's shit that comes out. It comes my way. I just send it off. That's what I do. I just send it off. And I publish all their shit. I'm not hiding from any of it. That's their shit. They want you to focus on me. It's all about me and why I'm a piece of shit that you shouldn't listen to. It's all about me. But let me point out, what they're doing to me is no different than what they did to Isaac Cappy. It's no different than what they did to Tracy Twyman. It's no different than what they did to Lori King. It's no different than what they did to Max Spears. That's what they've done to everyone. Everyone. Because victim blaming and victim shaming is a big thing. It works. It's easier to fucking dismiss the victims. The sad part about it is, in the end, I bet Virginia Giuffre thought the same thing that Isaac did. That not one motherfucking person cared about them. All this shit that they tried to do to save people, and look at where it got them. And yet, here they still were. And yet, here I still am. Because it's the right thing. It's the right thing. And those who don't give a shit, those who are just watching it for fucking entertainment, those who just couldn't give a fuck less, they're just watching because they just don't have anything better to fucking do, all fence sitters go to fucking in the dark. You can justify and give yourself every fucking reason why what your actions or inactions cause, but you can tell a tree by its fruits. You can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. And if your tree is barren and there is nothing, and it has to be barren, stop being all entertained by the fucking media circus. They're giving you bread and circuses. This shit is all about fucking children being hurt. Fucking children being hurt in the worst fucking ways. In the worst fucking ways. That's what this shit is about. It needs to be investigated. It needs to be fucking exposed. Stop feeding into the bread and circuses and the dog and pony shows. If it doesn't sound right and it doesn't look right and it doesn't feel right, give yourself at least a little bit of fucking credit for having maybe a little modicum of self-introspection. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. The government ain't gonna, the government's hidden it. God's bringing us all home. God's bringing us home. The gates of the new earth are about to open. All of heaven is getting ready to turn from this realm. This is going to be black. It's going to be a black hole. Great big black hole. And those who do have dark in their hearts and do not revel in the word as much as they can and glorify the word as much as they can, you ain't gonna like the results. The fact that God is a jealous God never fucking went away. And the whole you can do whatever the fuck you want and rationalize it however way you need and it's all okay doesn't work with what's here. Fill your hearts with love. I gotta pray and I gotta get off here. I'm at 105. Heaven, we come to you. We know that these are rough days. We know that there's a lot of information out there that is just bogus and bullshit. And it's hard to discern what's real. Touch our hearts. Fill us with grace. And help us learn to discern the truth. To question everything, but still accept certain things. Like you're with us. And that everything is providence. Right now, everything is providence. It's working in the glory of God. Even the fucking bullshit, all of their crap ass BS, it's all working on behalf of heaven. And we know that. We're in providence. And we say these things gratefully. Help us to be able to glorify your will. And we say these things in your Son, our brother's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. God is taking care. It's funny how many I lose when I start praying. Oh well. Come on. Come on. Focusing one's energy in prayer makes a difference because life is about energy. The shit you give out comes back to you. That's how it works. And it's best, as far as I'm concerned, to have as much love in your heart as you possibly can. And I do all the shit that I can to try and promote as much love as I possibly can. You know? Because it's all about planting seeds. And some of those seeds will be respected and honored and cherished. And some of them won't. And that's just the way it works. You know? Life is full of dickheads. But it also has its amazing people in it as well. You know? And the key is consciously striving to be one of those amazing people. And I'm not saying for me, for all those around you. You know? Know yourself, control yourself, and give freely of your time and energy. David Klotz always told me that that was the most selfish thing that you could possibly do. You know? It was selfish to do that because it always comes back. And it always comes back. And I can tell you, as shitty as it can get and as fucked up as this group is, they're just fucked in the head. You know? As crazy and fucked up as they are. All I'm saying is, God is so much greater. And they've lost already. You know? Fuck it, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. Because they're not bright enough to know how to do anything else. They're going to do exactly what they've been trained to do. And that's, you know. And the dark, I assure you, is fucking them up. In ways that they would never admit. But they know it's true. And so do I. And it's going to get worse. Go check out my website. The link. That's just the newest shit. I post all this shit on my blog. And my book, Rabbit Hole, I sell it. PayPal and Venmo is just Shurter. And the blog is just davidshurter.com. I'll also put this in the description. Oh, and as far as the chat goes, it takes 24 hours for the chat. So if you're watching this right after I did this live, but the chat's not coming up for you, that is because you it takes a while for YouTube to process it. So after it's processed and it will tell me that it's processed, then you can see the chat because we leave on the chat. But if you watch it before it's processed, you'll see the video, but you don't see the chat. So if you don't see the chat and you're going on right after I did the live, that's why. And because I've gotten emails from that asking me about it, so I wanted to bring that up. But Sherilyn, you've done an amazing job. And I'm going to get off here because I like to keep the ones during the week short. Thursday at 11 o'clock. That will be just an hour. We end right at noon on Thursday because there's stuff that needs to be done. And then the next one will be on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That date might change. Sometimes I want to do them earlier because I just want to get the shit out of the way. Because when there's not good conversation, I feel like I have to come on here and talk about all this child trafficking shit. And it's a real bummer. And so I kind of want to get it out of the way. So, because a lot of times I'm like working in the yard or sewing or cleaning or doing whatever. But then I have to stop in the middle of my day to deal with this bullshit. And I don't know. I just kind of like these 11 o'clock ones. I get it out of the way before noon, right before lunch, you know, and it's out of the way. Because contrary to what people might think watching these videos, I do not spend a lot of time thinking about these idiots. You know, I'm more focused on God and what I need to be doing right now and where I'm headed and the fact that I'm sorry that this is too much for a lot of you to take, but in my life, it's about me. I just want to make clear it in my life, it's about me. Not that there aren't others that I care about at all, but I'm the only thing I can control. And so therefore I have to do the things that I have to do in my life. And I think that that's the way it should be with all of us. You know, I give freely of my time and energy, but all of this stuff, I can't be consumed with all of this stuff all the time. And this whole conception, them trying to say that I'm angry all the time is stupid. You know, I'm old. Who has the fucking energy for that? You know? And I'm not really manicky either. I'm just how I always have been. I've always been a grumpy old dude. When my ex and I first got together, he was in college, and we went out with a college friend of his. And this dude, during dinner, looked at me and told me, dude, you're like an old man trapped in a young man's body. And that's always been the case. And the whole phrase, grumpy old man, that's a phrase, because that kind of exists, you know? And so I have so much shit going on. I can't let them consume all of this shit. They can make as many fucking videos, pass out as many fucking flyers. They break into my house at will. There's not a fucking thing I can do about it. So why worry about it? You know? Could I freak myself out? Oh, they could be poisoning my food or poisoning my dogs, or they've done shit to my fucking hair products. I've had shit. They fucking poisoned half and half. So I've already been that route. But to sit here 24/7 and worry about these fucking dumb fucks, they're going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to be held accountable in the end. And they just don't get it through their fucking egotistical, narcissistic, nasty ass heads. You know? They just don't get it. They don't get it. They don't realize the dark is about ready to fucking claim you motherfuckers. Play all the games you want. Convince whoever you fucking need about me. Tell whatever fucking lies you think are going to help you. You know? But it's not going to help you. And what you face, I hadn't, I had some doing in it, but it's not me. And you're fucked. And there's no way to beat what's coming for you. And that's just how it is. Flat out. That's how it fucking is. You know? All your nasty ass secrets with all the nasty ass shit that your group has reveled in forever. None of that shit matters. You better live it up now. Better live it up now. Because I can tell you, after your last breath, you won't feel like celebrating for a long, long fucking time.